Sabine.
Hello.
Yeah.
Morning.
Hello, everyone.
Right.
Nice to see you.
We've got Paul André, we've got Eric, we've got Laura. Laura, who's killing it with her new digital embellishment press up in Canada. All right. Mr. Nickel.
Hey, hey, hey.
Oh my goodness, we're so lucky to have you on the call today, my friend.
Hey, come on now. It's a pleasure to join.
He says that to all the girls.
Oh boy.
Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. All right. So we're gonna kick this off. How's everybody doing? Yeah?
Yeah, okay.
It's Friday.
It's Friday. You know, I feel like the days are going by faster and faster. I don't know if it's just me, but I don't see the time go. It's crazy. So, without further ado, let me kick this bad boy off. Everybody, welcome to this month's Digital Embellishment Designer Meetup. We are very, very happy to have you all with us. Today, we're going to be talking about tactile textures and finishes, all about the three raised effects. And before I hand it off to our hostess with the mostest muscles, can I get a flex there, Mr. Red Bear?
No.
Get a flex from you? All right, no flexes from Matt. We would like to really thank our sponsors. Big thanks to MGI for sponsoring. A big thank you goes out to Sabine and Paper Specs for sponsoring. And of course, the Digital Embellishment Alliance, guys. We could not do this without you. So thanks for providing a space for all of us to get together and talk and geek out about really cool design stuff for embellishments. So big thank you to you guys. And at this point, Matt, what do you got for us today, man?
The usual, I guess. I'm really curious because we brought up this topic, or you brought up this topic of tactile, designing for tactile, designing for touch. And I'm really curious to get a take on what everybody here might think that would mean. So if any, Sabine or Bob, anybody who would like to chime in, Laura, it would be great to hear from you about what that means to you and how that might apply to your daily work experience. I know that's a lot. It's a lot, but I know what I do, and I can just sit here and disseminate everything, and bore everyone from minute to minute.
We're
But
not boring.
what I really want to know is, I know what I do. I'm in my own little universe. I do my own little thing. But what do you guys do to to consciously enhance the touch factor, the tactile factor of anything that you design? Who wants to go?
Well, I would like to initiate for Sabine because
Sure. Just
you know why?
gap, right?
Let me see why. Because Sabine, what's the name of your company?
Paper Specs.
And what did you start off really specializing in?
I started off with paper, yeah.
Paper. And what's the original embellishment?
Well, that's don't get me started on this one. I went like for 20 minutes with Jeff Peterson on this one. What is actually an embellishment?
Right.
But the tactile part, absolutely. When I talk about how you can achieve a tactile effect, when I, talk to designers, I'm like, the easiest one is your choice of paper. That's a no-brainer. That's the basis for everything. Textured like linen or laid or whatever texture it is, because paper has a voice. If you hear it or not, you touch it, there is something that comes across. So that's number one, probably the easiest way to create any kind of tactile effect.
Yeah.
And then beyond that, I'm sorry, but beyond that would be embossing?
Beyond that would be anything that, raises, anything embossed probably is very popular. I always say the next step where it's built in the printing process is letterpress printing and engraving.
Right.
Because letterpress, you press deep down, so you have a deep deboss effect, excuse me, right there. And then engraving, the ink sits on the top, so you have a raised effect right there. But as we all know, engraving or engravers are few and far between these days. So the next level then would be anything that raises the surface, which would be embossing, and also, and this is what you're waiting for, Matt, raised UV, raised digital options. And that would be, especially with the smaller print runs people are experiencing, is definitely becoming more popular.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very good. How about Bob? What are your thoughts on raised? What do you see?
We just want to raise the price.
You asked for that one, Kevin.
It's a profit center then.
Hey, no, well, no, not really. Different ways to do different things and keep the cost down and
Yeah.
still offer embellishments. So obviously with the machines we have, it's huge to not have to wait on tooling or pay for tooling and since we do a lot of rigid boxes now, trying to emboss a rigid wrap and then apply it to a
Mhm.
chipboard, not going to do it. So we usually just go into the night.
Ooh. Ooh. Is that your
Award
sample
winner.
bag?
Award winner. It's got Scodex polymer. It's got Scodex gold foil and
that?
holographic little foil. So, and it
Ooh.
crosses
Nice.
over to a base.
Mhm.
So yeah, so
So step back a sec, Bob. So, but you're embellishing the paper first, and then you're wrapping it around the box. Yeah.
Mhm.
absolutely. So, and that helps immensely with rigid. And then obviously, folding carton's a no-brainer too. So, yeah, it just it helps us with our workflow. So we can go hot, we can go screen, we can go, polymer. Yeah, just all in one.
Very cool. Hey, you know what? Funny. I think I've said this before at one of our meetings. Our friends from Shutterfly did a focus group on optimal level of 3D thickness, of tactile thickness, where they went through a bunch of, different groups of people who would be basically what I would consider average Joes, right? People who are not from the industry, people who have no idea what print is, just people who from regular people, right? Not nerds like us. And what really came out was there was a certain thickness of polymer where if you went above it, it looked cheap. And so there's actually, this is free info for all of you. 40 microns was the optimal thickness. I'm not talking about speeds or costs like Bob was talking about.
Mhm.
40 microns was the optimal thickness for clear raised varnish in terms of optimal quality from these focus groups. So I thought that was interesting. I don't know if anybody here kind of ran into that, or does that make sense to anybody, or did
I
they?
would agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Oh.
makes sense so much. It makes sense
Mhm.
because having like a 40 micron thickness, you can keep like very thin details. So you can
Mhm.
have these sweet spots between the tactile that will raise the interest of the people that handling the prints. But you are able to keep this thickness and to bring nice detail on the print. So for sure it makes sense, definitively, yes. And this is what we see in Europe. We don't put too much varnish. When we are speaking about 3Ds, between 40 to 60 micron thickness usually. This is the bracket where our users use our technology to offer 3D tactile effects.
I'm going to go the other way here, and you're probably all
Of
going to
course
hate.
he does.
You're going to hate me for it, but it's all within context. So when you're dealing with a luxury brand, from my perspective, you're dealing with a luxury brand. Yes, less is more elegant, finer lines, more detail. You're going to achieve that with less varnish, a less thick layer of varnish, because varnish spreads. It tends to blob up at intersections, and to keep those looking clean and not looking cheap, obviously you need to use special coated paper, laminated paper, and or less varnish. But here at Elite Print Finishing, my day job, the majority of what we run is CBD, THC, pre-roll, gummies, display boxes for stick packs that go on the counter, and everything has to have that flash. Everything has to just go pow. We call it the pow factor. Like, what is the pow factor of this design? Is it really reaching the customer from across that room, or at least from 8 feet away? Is it catching their eye? Is there enough varnish depth to throw that light around in order for them to see that in the corner of their eye? And then before they know, subconsciously, they're gravitating over towards that shelf and exploring that product. So we have to, in this industry, make sure that we just lay it on thick. We go through so much varnish here. We go through at least an 18-liter jug a week. And the amount of foil that we go through is just phenomenal amounts of foil, because they want lots of foil with lots of varnish laid on thick to throw the light around. So yeah, it's all within context, and you can't just blanket say less. You know, there are exceptions.
I do agree. I do agree with you. Huh? You are purely answering to customer needs and people around your industry. So definitively, it makes sense as well for you.
And if they're going to pay for it, then we're going to charge them for it. And so it actually generates more profit that way.
I would like to give a shout out to some new people on this call. First off, Katie Groki, who was on the Amplify pattern. It's good to see you again. And Eddie and Karan from Big Dogs. You guys don't know them, but you're going to know all about them in a very short amount of time.
Oh, yeah.
Eddie.
These guys.
What's up, guys?
These guys are bananas. The work that they're doing is absolutely bonkers. Wow. They're getting kinds of quality I didn't know was possible with digital embellishments, and they're integrating NFC and really cool stuff. Eddie, say hi to everybody.
What's up, guys? I'm glad to be here. I was a bit late, but hey, better late than never, right?
A nice haircut.
But yeah, I was just... Sorry?
Nice haircut.
Oh, yeah. That's about time, man. I was going to grow it and tie in the ponytail, but just not this time. You'd be late. Okay. So I was actually listening to Matt, and that's very insightful, Matt. Thank you for that. Interesting how your cannabis industry is different from ours, because we actually do packaging for cannabis too, but we can't do that fancy embellishment stuff. It's just really basic packaging. They really don't want people to market so much these types of products here. So that's kind of interesting as well. But for us, like we're talking about like when you do fine lines and Grant, you can actually speak, interject in this if you want to give you input. But we actually are really good at doing the fine lines on our machine. I think, Kevin, that's probably what attracted you the most. And even to the point that April Little, like when she came to our booth the first time, she goes to me, I don't know if I told you the story. No. This is even before the Graphics Canada show started. And she goes, "Oh, I see you have a Scodex." And I go, "No, MGI." And I was actually pointing to, if you remember where our booth was, Kevin and Eric, I was actually pointing to the Konica booth. "No, MGI." And she's like, "You guys are able to get this quality on an MGI?" And I go, "Yeah, but here, that's not the kicker. The kicker is we're able to do that on synthetic material."
Yeah, I love synthetic.
So that's a tough thing when you do completely 100% synthetics. And that is actually what, I don't know if you guys see my LinkedIn, but that's what I'm pushing now, that patent where we can do raised foil embellishments, really fine details on synthetic banners, on carbon magnets, on floor.
Maybe one day you'll share your secret with us, huh?
Yeah, I mean, once the patent hits public, I can talk about it more. Like once it becomes a public, in the public sphere, I guess. All right. I can go through it. Maybe you can do like a video or something.
That'd be cool.
But yeah, a lot of exciting stuff. So looking forward to working with you guys more, especially the tactile team.
Yeah. So Eddie, I'm going to put you on mute, buddy, because it sounds like you guys are working on a car back there. But I'm sure that you guys are working all kinds of really fun, crazy projects. Because these guys are like the mad scientists of the print industry. I absolutely love it.
Thank you.
Laura, tell us a little bit more about you. What's going on with your approach and your experimentation?
Yeah.
As somebody who I think is recently installed, right? You're just now playing with raised textures.
Yeah. And actually, Emily just brought up our first, like we've got a piece here that we've put together for our little promotional chocolate boxes to go in there. And so I'll just show you kind of what we've done here. If you can see that or not. So the idea with this is that it's a double parallel fold piece.
Nice.
And I don't know if you can see that.
Nice.
So
is that copper foil? And
it was labeled as orange, but it's a very coppery look to it.
I love the copper.
So we've got some lines there that reflect the image and
Oh, really
that's
nice.
underneath there. And then over here, we've got, let's see if I can get it. I've got a shine on the train tracks you can see there.
Oh.
And
Wow.
then on the back side, I've got, because it was just Stampede here, we've
Oh,
got
people
this
don't know what
horse
that
with
is.
Yeah,
oh,
explain the
Stampede,
Stampede. Yeah,
the Calgary Stampede.
Yeah, explain to everybody
Oh,
because it
how
sounds
do you
like fun.
explain? It's basically a great big rodeo fair thing that has just gone insane over the
Giant party.
years. Yeah, check it out. Anyway, so I put like a leather pattern in behind the horse.
Oh, see how
And
she
then
reversed it out? That's smart. So
Oh, I like that. Yeah, I
that's
like
not
that a lot.
obvious. That's curious, as Matt would say.
Exactly. That's
And
yeah.
and then the horse has, that soft touch feel. So it's like
Oh,
you
nice.
want to pet the horse, right? And then this is just a pattern. This one's a little harder to get the shine on it, but so I've got that line drawing over that kind of blurred background, and then we put a varnish on top of the line drawing.
Wow, beautiful.
Yeah.
Well done,
Oh.
Laura.
Would just like to
Anyway.
request a box of chocolates, please.
Yes. Yes.
I'll take
But
one.
make sure he gets the dark ones that go better with the bourbon.
Yes.
You see me, Sabine. You see me.
I got your back, Eric. Not to worry.
Speaking of bourbon, Bob, you do a lot of the more whiskey, no? Or do you do bourbon packaging as well?
We do it all, even some tequila.
Ooh, oh, the tactile tequila's going your way then, huh?
Yeah. No, obviously Jack Daniels is big. I mean, we are in Tennessee, right?
Right.
Yeah.
We do go up to Kentucky, so it's, not a bad drive. We stay the night, but it's not a bad drive.
Yeah,
But,
I'm sure.
No, there's definitely a lot happening in that space also,
Yeah.
especially it even gets to exports too. So, there were some people who couldn't do Year of the Snake packaging for a fine bourbon, and we had to step in the last minute and ship it numerous places. And it was a rigid box that had dual doors on it that opened. So, yeah, there's they like their bells and whistles. Yeah, absolutely.
Are you seeing a lot of short run opportunities, Bob, with the kind of craft distilling is sort of blown up like craft beer was years ago?
Yeah, so on the specialties one-offs, yeah. In short run, I'm talking probably 25,000, somewhere in there, 25 to 35 is pretty much it. You might get something occasionally for a 15, but we try to pump it up a little bit only because, the sales dollar volume is better when you put it up a little bit, because you got so many steps to go through in this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's out there.
Very cool. Well, we got somebody else on the call. He usually likes to hang back and listen in the background, but I don't know if Mr. England, are you with us by any chance? Can you hear us? I saw some of the pieces that you did, and if you want to unmute yourself and kind of talk about, especially that some of the really cool designs you guys did on the casino piece with the flip book. I got to tell you, I saw that, and I absolutely want one for my personal collection if you can. But I don't know if you could talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, actually, it was just there was quite a few pieces that I had seen from what's her name, Trish Swatowski, the fold gal. I always watch her, and I actually saw several pieces that she had did that I basically just tried to engineer something new and different, playing off of several things that I had seen that she had did. So we designed that, and I can tell you that the production team here hated me for a long time. But it was a very recognizable piece. I do have a few of those left. And we ended up doing a couple of different versions of that. We actually had some clients that wanted to do a spin-off of that after they had seen that piece. Yeah, and we got a lot of recognition. We got several awards for that, and we were very pleased. Having the MGI has been great for us, and we had embellishment throughout that piece. So yeah, looking forward to doing some new creative stuff.
Well, a lot of people talking about your operator too, and I think, you know, and I could be wrong, but those of you who are on the call could tell me, like, you really kind of really almost live and die by how good your operator is, right? I think the better your operator, the more crazy stuff you can get away with. And it sounds like your operator is just one of those people who are just naturally gifted at doing crazy stuff with that machine.
Yeah, he's very adventurous, and he and I work together a lot in that I'm constantly giving him images and challenging him, so he basically comes up with the ways to be creative based upon the artwork or the pieces that we give him. So we kind of play off of one another. I learn from him, and he learns from me. We just keep trying to raise the bar and push what's possible.
That's awesome. That's like the perfect ballet, right? And I think you're a classically trained designer as well, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct, yes.
Wow, that's good. That's very cool.
So
So
I remember way back in the day, I'm going way back when I used to work with what was called a Croy system, where we used to take laser sheets, and we had the Croy foil that was like a heat transfer, and you could run these little 8.5 by 11 sheets through that to get embellishment. Again, this was back in late 80s, early 90s, so I'm going way back.
is that sleeking today? Is that what that is or no?
That might be. I've heard that word, but I don't even know if that's I have actually gone online and tried to see if anybody picked up where Croy had left off, because Croy was the brand name.
Well, yeah, I mean, KM has a Curio, is it a Curio Shine? It's a desktop model. It's like 8.5 by 11, and it comes with these little foil cartridges that you stick in it.
Yeah.
And basically you print anything with toner on it, and then you run it through, and it does that sleeking process. The foil sticks to wherever the toner is. And so it's very 2D. I mean, it's definitely not 3D raised varnish underneath, but it is a form of sleeking. It is this little tiny desktop machine. It's like,
am I wrong in saying you could do that with any laminator? Just put the right foil in there and basically you could sleek? Is that correct to say for all you other printers who are out there?
kinda.
Yeah, we have laminators that do that, but you need a rewinder to rewind that foil.
Oh,
but all of our laminators have that, by the way.
right.
Mhm.
That's a
Yeah,
great.
we rarely use sleeking now that we have the MGI. It's just hard. Like sleeking is tougher.
It is.
Yeah.
It's really difficult to get it right, but if you get it right, it looks great.
Yeah, the secret's in the design, right? So the problem with sleeking, and this is a designer meetup, so we might as well have a discussion. Matt or anybody, do you want to walk us through like what exactly? Because there's 3 pieces, right? You have to print just black.
It's a rich black.
Toner, yeah.
A rich black, right?
It needs to be. You need to lay down as much toner in one spot as possible.
And then you run it through your sleeker or laminator. The foil sticks to the black areas.
Yes, yes.
And then you put it back through your press and you try to overprint it. But the problem is it's hard to register the print to the foil because it's already had a lot of thermal shock and that paper's kind of moved and stretched and done a whole bunch of stuff. So it's all about the design and not designing where you're shooting yourself in the foot, right?
Yeah, and leaving space, a little room for error is always necessary. They usually use it for things like business cards or postcards, something that's not big.
Right.
Like the larger you go, the more problematic it becomes, from my understanding. So it works great for business cards.
So the main problem is the registration.
I think so.
When you say hot.
In the main problem is the registration in the second part if you want to overprint.
Yes.
The MGI had Meteor Color Unlimited.
Unlimited
Maybe Kevin
colors.
knows it. Meteor Colors Unlimited. Yeah, you basically print.
Oh, the Meteor machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Konica Minolta print machine inside. You print the black, then you put the foil with the iFoil T unit, like on a 3ds iFoil S unit, and then you overprint it with the toner. And then basically you can, on a silver, you can get all the kinds of metallic colors. So basically you are,
like
what is the range of the colors? You get the metallization. Yeah. And if you had the really good operator, then you can get the really good registration.
Oh, you're taking me back. You're taking me back.
Yes.
That's like I think that was like, it looked like a 6000 Konica KM engine connected to an iFoil. I was actually looking to buy one of those.
It's 1070. It was 1070.
Oh, it was a 1070.
Yeah.
It looked like a 6000 when I was looking at it.
The idea was so great because, like, honestly, the output was awesome. It was just from a technical standpoint almost impossible to do.
Yeah.
We have two of those machines in Croatia, in small Croatia.
Oh,
Yeah.
And one of the who owns it, they are really crazy regarding designs, and they did a lot of crazy stuff. They are
Yeah.
really crazy guys with the design,
That's
and
it.
they still have it, and have it also 3ds for the varnish and foiling, and they have the standard foiling, so they completed the foiling process all from all the corners. So
Yeah.
basically, they can do everything.
You need people like Eddie to run that machine and be successful with it.
I'll stop it, Kevin.
I wouldn't have the patience for it.
But going to the overprint method.
I'm restarting the internet.
Oh, what? What was that?
That wasn't me.
Whose internet is going? Anyways, the overprint though can be accomplished by you print basically a color image and then you laminate it, and then you do the black or the well,
Yep.
it could be processed black, and then you do the sleeking on top of that. So that's how you kind of do the overprint. We've done that, but yeah, like the problem is once you do the lamination and everything, and then you run it through the printer, you get a lot of bad sheets because all these processes adds, point of failures.
Yes.
So at all these processes, and at the end, that you're burning all these sheets. So that's what I'm saying. It's difficult to work with because you actually have a lot of spoilage. You can have up to like 30% spoilage on those things.
So this is interesting, and I know that we've talked about overprinting, and Matt, you did a whole video where you did an overprinting on top of the foil. So you printed raised silver foil,
Yep.
ran it through, I think it was your iridesce, and then overprinted the foil with the iridesce, and it looked sick. Has anybody ever tried overprinting on varnish, or does that just look terrible?
It doesn't really accept the ink. It just doesn't. It's too gummy.
Oh, you've tried it though. You've tried it.
Yeah, it just doesn't.
I wouldn't have the balls to run that through my printer because wouldn't that damage your printer?
Yeah, it breaks up the surface of the varnish, just kind of, and I'm not sure why you would do that, Kevin. I mean, I could see, varnishing
To
up.
colorize, I guess
Imagine like
varnish,
exactly. You would colorize a raised varnish. I think in theory, if you put like a really low gradation, so it's not like 100%, maybe a nice little blend, the effect could in theory be awesome. But I don't know anybody who's ever tried it.
I don't
I
know.
was actually-
I tried it, but on maximum 36 microns. I just want to do it similar like on a Meteor, but the registration is the problem. The Meteor has some things that can get the good registration, but if you put it in the standard PP machine, after that, the registration is a bit tricky because of the heating and cooling of the sheet 2 or 3 times before of that. And
so Marco, registration aside, how did it look?
It looked good. It's shinier than on a Meteor because under there is varnish, so the foil is really glossy. Like if you slick it on a toner, it's not so glossy. It has that texture of the toner,
Okay, so the toner becomes glossier on the. Okay.
Yeah. On a varnish is much glossier because of the shiny varnish underneath.
Hold on. I think somebody's trying to show us something here. You're smiling as though you just ran this idea. Andre, do you want to talk to us
I
about
wanted
it?
to show something. This comes from a European jet varnish user equipped with offset technology. So what he did, he printed first a circle of silver foil, as you can see, and he dropped again the sheets on the offsets, just to creating this printed leaves.
Yeah,
as you can see here. It was not a very standard process, but it was pretty funny for them to offer it for their customers. So as you can see, there is like specific.
That's cool.
So this was embossed. I'm sorry, this was foiled with an MGI.
Yes, foiled with MGI, and they overprint
and
with
then
offset.
they ran it to an offset press again.
Yes.
Yeah.
And whoever has the Cam1 or similar machine, but I know the guys in IPES who did it this year's calendar. Now I remembered, they printed on a Cam 1, embellished it on a jet varnish, and then reprinted all on top of the silver foil with another print of Cam 1. And then you have those metallic effects. When I will be in Zagreb next, 2 weeks from now, I will try to take the pictures or try to save the one for the next call so I can show you. So basically, you overprinted with the inject, but regarding the KM1, it has the much like an offset, much better registration. And the jet varnish has the registration because of scanner.
Yeah.
And then you print it again with a left margin, like a normal offset machine. And then you have the excellent registration.
And inkjet makes sense to me because Mark, is it Mark? You had the foil, with the foil moon, so to speak. It was pretty low. It wasn't very highly raised, the foil, right?
It looked a little bit dimensional to me when I was seeing it.
It was?
No. The guys printed.
No, not Marco.
The guys printed it.
The French guy.
Okay.
Sorry.
Sorry. Yes.
Is it?
No, it was fully flat. Huh? It's flat foil.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
So what is flat?
It looks like it was
or is it? But if it's an MGI,
flat silver,
it's slightly raised.
Flat silver layer, and on top CMYK offset printing.
It looks a little bit dimensional, doesn't it?
It has to because it's an MGI, so you
Yeah.
have to slightly.
A little bit of
you can't
UV.
make it completely flat.
You can lay down
Yeah, but
16.
There is like I think we should have around 5 micron thickness, something like this. 7 micron thickness.
Yeah, but Matt, 16 microns at that large an area, you're going to have spots. I mean, I don't know if you can get it that flush, right?
Depends on your
stock.
surface. Depends on your laminate. Depends on your surface.
Cam1 can get the 600 microns thickness, so you can get off probably with much higher varnish thickness.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the real 3D, because the machine is from 0.06 to 0.06 millimeters of the thickness. So basically you can get away, let's say you put 250 gram or 350 gram paper inside. So you are, let's say on 0.3, and basically you can put another almost 0.3 thickness of the varnish on top of it.
Now, Kevin, I actually had a similar.
Yeah.
I actually had a similar idea. It's not like heavy production, but I was actually thinking, why don't we take the varnish or the MGI and, well, okay, you guys see this mouse pad?
Right.
We just printed this dye. I don't know if you guys know dye sublimation. So you put it on a transfer sheet like an inkjet, and then you do a heat press, and then it turns to a gaseous state, and it gets absorbed by the substrate. I was actually thinking of doing that, dye sub, printing a dye sub image, and then using a heat press and see if that could bond it to, because basically it will stick, the gas will stick to polymer. So, and that's basically what the UV is, it's a polymer. So I think it could will colorize it, but I just haven't really tried it. I actually had that idea, but I wanted to try it, but I might actually try it now.
Let us know.
Try it and give us, yes.
That's
Why
a
not?
super idea. That's a super idea.
Yeah. But it's not like heavy production. I mean, you're not going to do like 1,000 pieces and do the heat press, but maybe it's a small run type of.
You're the kind of guy who likes to test things and push the envelope. So you're the perfect guy to test this, Eddie.
Well, and Karan too.
Karan's awesome, by the way. Hey, Karan, how are you?
Hey, how you guys doing?
What were you saying?
So theoretically, then we could overprint the moon with inkjet as well. It doesn't have to be offset.
Yeah.
I mean, Matt, I know you did toner, and for me, toner is a little bit more dicey. Inkjet is probably more forgiving there, isn't it?
Well, toner is going to be more risky because it might damage the machine, and you're going to. It's like I described with the one that I did before. We put the bad fuser in, and then that way, if we wrecked the fuser, we wouldn't have been out with a fuser.
Dude, I remember you guys with the good and bad fusers.
So, but it worked beautifully, and we didn't have a lot of them to run. There was like 750 of them to run, but as long as the machine stayed clean, we were fine. Now you keep coming back to inkjet, Sabine, and it's interesting because
I'm just looking at this. I'm like, I don't want to run it through an offset press.
That's the whole forward movement with Swiss Q Print and all of their flatbed printers. in that they can actually do pretty much what an MGI does, but on a flatbed version.
Yeah.
That's even more topographic than what an MGI can do. It can do almost what would end up looking like if you were to create a multi-level die in traditional, die work. So they can lay down the varnish, print on top of the varnish, and then embellish, lay down ink on top of the varnish, then put varnish on top of the ink, and then like if you printed something on the MGI, you lay those sheets down and then you can inkjet over the top of those just as well. Or if you had foil board, any kind of a foil board, because you have white ink at your disposal with that type of a process too.
But I like the idea of having that
basically,
moon and that spheric globe idea there with the overprint, and instead of offset, I'm just thinking of smaller print runs. And so ideally you could do that with an inkjet press.
Yes, and basically the inject is better than any other contact print like laser or like offset because of the rubber contact and spreading and everything. If you have non-contact like inject flatbeds like Matt says, or Cam1 print for the higher volume, could be for a higher volume, because I think the flatbeds are too slow for a higher volume.
I don't know.
Yeah, this is the possibility. Yeah, okay.
Some of them are pretty big now. They just lay them all
they
out.
They run so many up. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm thinking UV, not just any inkjet.
Yeah, it would be a UV inkjet, UV, CMYK UV inkjet.
Yeah.
Katie, are you still with us?
We need to ask Ken Huizinga to test it on Cam1 and 3DS.
We'll ask Ken to do it. Katie, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Katie is an amazing designer, and she ran the digital embellishment department at LPI. Katie, have you done any of this crazy kind of stuff on your end, or is this, or were you more inside the box in terms of what you ran or experimented with?
No, not running anything through any printing presses because we didn't really have any there. But just coming up with alternative ways to do it instead. So either using metallic inks or overprinting on the metallic sheets, or using cold foil, things like that instead. But I don't know. Right now it does seem a little up in the air. Eventually maybe there's a better way to do it, but yeah, it's something that I haven't messed with personally yet.
All right. Well, hopefully next month when we have this, some of you guys are gonna go back and do some experiments when the boss isn't looking, and report back on what works and what doesn't work. And I think that's what's kind of cool about this community, is that we can really push the envelope together and figure stuff out regarding new finishes, new ways of doing things. All right. What else? Matt, anything else that you? Yeah, go ahead, Sabine.
We were talking tactile. That's how you started us off. Mr.
That's where I was going to go. I said this whole conversation.
Wait a second, let's come full circle here for a moment.
This has gone all the way around.
Went off the rails. Yeah, we geeked out too hard.
Great. I learned a lot. I always learn a lot here.
And I think,
but Matt, I'm sure you have tried this, or Eddie, probably either one of you. As a designer, some of that super shiny raised UV just rubs me the wrong way. I'm sorry. And I'm still waiting for somebody to, I know it's not technically possible. So have you done it where you basically put the raised pattern on and then ran it through a laminator and made it matte?
Yeah.
I've done aqueous overcoat, like a satin aqueous on top of the finished.
Right, that's my question, because I want to mat it down. So Katie,
yeah, absolutely. Run it back. You can do either, well, one of the only way that we really ever did it was we'd finish the piece, send it back to the offset press without a blanket, run a flood coat of aqueous on it, satin, like a satin or matte finish aqueous, and then finish it from that point forward. And it would bring all that shine down to a more elegant, satiny, it almost looked like velvet.
Yeah.
Rather than that shiny foil. So the thing about raised UV foil is that it's difficult to read if
I wasn't talking foil. I'm not talking foil. I'm just talking the raised UV pattern. that I want matted down because you know me, less is more. Kevin knows my mantra. And I like it more for an elegant look, for a high-end look.
Just
So,
overcoat it.
Like some machines, like even the Duplo, they have two varnish, one's gloss and one's matte. So I do see
Oh,
that
they do.
there's
They do
matte.
have a matte
Yeah, they
one?
actually have two, but the matte is not very. It's a Duplo DDC 810 for that machine. DDC 810 Duplo, they actually have a matte, but it's not that popular. And I kind of do know what Sabine is talking about because I kind of remember thinking there are some applications that we kind of want raised varnish, but not so glossy, like a little bit more of like a different type of soft premium type of finish, right? And that can work well in different designs. Now, Sabine, to answer your question, I actually tried running lamination on top of UV. We tried it. I couldn't get it to work at all. So
okay, thank you.
You can do.
I'm sorry, let's just stop the mic here
doable.
because if Eddie can't get it to work, it's not possible.
No,
It's doable.
it can.
It's doable.
It's
you
doable.
Can do the second.
You can do
you
it.
can do the second pass. You can do the second pass with the dithering on and put, let's say, 10% on or 5% of the varnish or the black inside the mask, and you will get the spray effect. It will be satin. It will never be a matte.
Wait, are we talking about putting lamination on top of
it? Killed the glossiness basically.
Are we talking about the same thing?
The same file.
You might not.
The same file.
You might not.
Yeah, you print out, let's say, 42 microns of some mask, and then you reprint it with the same mask, but in the mask is not 100%. It's 10% or 5% or 2% of black, and you need to check the dithering mode on and print it.
Oh, dithering. I
And
see.
then we'll,
Yes, varnish on top of the varnish, but with, let's say, 5% mask.
Or Marco,
And
you
then
can
you will
also
have-
do that on top of foil.
Or on top of foil, yeah.
So wait a
And then you
second.
will get this.
Are you guys
micro
offering to
spray
send me
effect.
samples? Because I would like a sample
Well,
where it's
Sabine,
just the raised.
in your backyard, Ryan Moskin does that all the time with his machine. So they build in a flood coater, aqueous.
I know that.
It looks really cool. It honestly, when you put that matte soft touch on top of the glossy 3D, like I looked at it, and you guys know I've been in this my whole life. My first reaction was to flip it over, because I was like, this isn't boss. There's no.
No, I've seen that work.
Yeah.
I was intrigued by the fact that, if somebody says, oh, I don't have the coder, I'm always looking for, somebody will say, oh, my printer can't do that because they don't have the coder, for example. What Marco says is basically you can print the raised effect, and then he goes back and puts a 5% dithering on top.
5% dithering, yeah.
And I'd love to see that. I love but both sheets, like the original one and then the overprinted one, because I do these little reels online, and just to show people you can do this.
Yeah.
Because I bet you $10,000 that designers don't know this.
Yeah.
Fran,
you need to
can you add this to our POC list?
Depending of the machine. If you have 9000L or Evo, or you have 3ds Courier Shines, the varnishes are different a little, so you need to play a little with the gradation. But you can manage to get the satin effect. Not pure matte, but the satin effect.
Right, but I would love a sample, Marco. What I'm saying is I would love to see a sample, because what I do is I go on Instagram and I show these like before and after. Yes, this is super shiny, and I know as a designer you don't like it. Here's your option.
Right.
Besides the
have some samples if you
I know,
want.
Kevin, I understand, but I was intrigued by the fact that you can overprint it right there.
Sabine, we'll send you some. Yeah, go ahead.
I have some samples if you want. I can send it to you. Yes,
that would be lovely. I appreciate that.
In our headquarters showroom, we have some. Cool. And as well, I can share something. I heard that there is some customers, they worked with laser technology in order to kill the glossiness. So they went as a first pass through the MGI to apply the 3D spot UV coating, and then as a second pass they took the embellished sheets and they went through the laser. And they just degraded
it.
Burnished it
in order to kill the glossiness. And apparently this process is working.
Wow.
Yes.
You and I are going to be best friends.
That's
just send me
really
samples.
That's super smart. I had never. Do you have samples of that you could
Wait,
send?
wait, I said that first, Kevin. Me first.
And from what I
They did it
gather,
in Eastern Europe.
if they can just use a laser to do it as a flood thing, can they not do it selectively?
Yeah, they do it
Yeah, they can.
selectively.
Yeah.
That's
So you
even
have
better.
a spot
Can you
varnish,
imagine?
and they go and they kill the glossiness right
Yeah.
where the spot varnish is.
Did you see it with your eyes, or did you hear about it?
No, but I'm confident with the guy that explained me the process.
You heard about it from somebody you
I would
trust.
like a
It's a
sample,
Super
please.
Tiger technician.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I will ask for it. I will ask for it. If I get samples, I will share it with you, sure.
Appreciate it. Yes.
If you want, Sabine, I will put my my email address in the chat box so we can get we can keep contact, and I will send it to you the glittering effect satin look for you. Okay.
I appreciate that.
All right, guys. Well, anybody else have anything cool that they figured out that they want to talk about?
Well, the whole thing here was about designing for tactile finishes.
Getting to your point, Matt.
And we discussed everything but that.
Everything is raised. Everything is raised that we talked about.
Everything has a touch factor.
Wow. Well, if that's the case, guys, I want to tell you, first of all, thank you so much for everybody for joining us. Matt, you did a phenomenal job, even though we went way off the rails in the best possible way.
I had a whole presentation, but there we go.
Did you? Did you have a whole presentation?
Of course I did.
All right. Well, you know what? I promise next month we'll do your presentation. So keep that in your pocket, and we'll make sure to get to that next month. We'll do a repeat, and hopefully we'll be able to get to it. But a big thank you to all of you guys for coming and nerding out with us about what we think is the funnest thing in print. If you guys want, we're going to send out the invitations for next month's. And any requests on things that we should address from a designer standpoint, anything that you guys want us to build a theme around so that Matt can create a presentation that we won't get to for
we may or may not get to.
Yes. Sabine, any requests on your side? What do you think designers want to hear?
We're back to, we need to come up. I know you want to push the technology, but I think we need to come up with some common names for things.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I had this long conversation with Jeff Peterson the other day about embellishment in the first place. What is embellishment? Different people think it's different things.
Right.
And we're not helping anybody by not being clear about that. And I think, you know, to be clear is to be kind, you know, and if we come up with our own, you know, I spoke to somebody who's been in the printing industry for more than 20 years yesterday. And I said, well, toner-based foiling. And she looks at me like, sleeking? Just, oh yeah, I heard about that. I'm like, oh my gosh, you know. So I think it's helpful for all of us to have some, I love this technology pushing, don't get me wrong. But just in general, keep that in mind that we touch on that and say, yeah, this is what we call it. I mean, we had this at Amplify where we talked about it and it was like, oh, what would you call it? And I'm like, raised UV, you know, and everybody's like, oh.
Okay.
Just common terminology that we're all talking about the same thing.
Okay. Very good. Great idea. Anything else? Any other ideas out there? This is your community, so whatever you guys want to talk about, we're open to looking at that subject together, or we'll just figure it out when we get there. Okay, I guess we'll figure it out. Thank you. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody, and a big thank you to you guys for coming and to our sponsors for helping support the digital embellishment community. Great seeing everybody. Thank you again.
Thanks, guys.
Take care, guys. Bye.